So here we have a new 2025 Nissan Sentra. This one comes in the S trim level in super black, and then we have charcoal cloth interior. The powertrain consists of a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, and that's mated to the Xtronic CVT. We get 149 horsepower, 145 pound-feet of torque. As we come around to the front end here, we get the halogen headlamps. And for it to be the base, a pretty good look there. I like the kind of chrome strips on the side to just kind of make the vehicle pop a little bit. Down here to these wheels, these are going to be 16-inch steel. And to the door panel here, we get one touch up and down for the driver's side window, regular windows on the other 3 doors, power door locks, rear window locks, power mirror controls. And then we have the eco mode here, trunk release, gas cap release, hood release, foot pedal parking brake, and then we do get a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our 6-way manual driver's seat. So we can adjust seat bottom here, seat bottom pump up or down, and the seat back, we can go forward and back there. But a huge thanks to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so we're gonna see how I can sit behind myself in the back. So it's kind of a tough spot getting down in here, but once I'm in here, I mean, the space is decent for this kind of car. Now, with this being an S, no seat back pockets, no USB ports or anything like that, but there's a view of the front from back here. And I am impressed with how the air is actually reaching me all the way back here, and I have it on the lowest setting, so really not a need for rear AC vents back here in my opinion. But again, with it being the base model, not too much going on back here. Now for your child locks, lock, unlock there. And I apologize for the car being so filthy. They've been doing construction around here, so it's kind of hard to get a detail done this much in advance. But to pop the trunk, we will have to do that from up here. Because there's no button on the bottom there in the S, but trunk space is pretty good. We do get a spare underneath, which is nice. And a quick look underneath the car. But good thing is the fuel cap or the fuel door is lockable, so you have the fuel cap there. And again, to get that open, you do have to do it from the vehicle itself if you're worried about somebody siphoning your gas. Is that a horsefly? Oh my gosh. Now to fold the seats flat, pull up here, pretty easy to do. And then pretty easy to pop back into place. You get the side rear airbags here, your lower anchors integrated there, and then your top tethers are behind the seats themselves. And then to the front passenger seat, and I apologize for the wind noise, manual seat back, seat bottom there, and there's your glove compartment. Now, if you're interested in the parts content, there it is. And as we come back around to the front end, there's that 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. And then we're just going to show off the blinkers. But now let's hop in the driver's seat. So we get that hard vinyl steering wheel, but I still like the look and the feel. There's the horn. Now over here to the radio, this is going to be AM, FM, Bluetooth, aux input. You do get wired CarPlay and Android Auto as well. And then to set your presets up, all you have to do is just hold where you want to put it, If it'll read it, there you go. But anyways, yeah, you just hold the, once you have the station set up, you just hold the number, and then there you have it. But settings here, change your language, and then your sound, all that, connections, so on and so forth, are right in there. And then your home page is here. And that's how you get to the settings that way. So very simple system, not too much going on, everything you need, nothing you don't. Backup cameras here. And then down here, hazards. And then single zone manual climate control, so we can adjust temperature here, fan speed here, toggle the AC fan direction, defrosters. And then down here, here's a 12 volt, you get an aux input and a USB-A, which is what you use to run the CarPlay, Android Auto. And then you have an auto stop toggle here. So we do get auto stop in this 25 Sentra. Now to put the vehicle in gear, hit the brake, pull back, reverse, neutral, drive. Then you have your limiter here. Bottle holders, center console cubby space. There's a look at the back from up here. And then back to the front, lights. And I'm impressed that we get a sunglasses holder here. I've seen so many vehicles where it'll be a 40 grand vehicle, and since you didn't pay 50 grand, you don't get a sunglasses holder, so that's nice. And there's the vanity mirror. Now back to the steering wheel itself, left side stock, blinkers, and then auto. We do get high beam assist here. Intermittent wipers, one time off, intermittent low, high. We can adjust that intermittent frequency here in the middle, pull up for that fluid. And then to the left side of the steering wheel, volume can be adjusted there. Trackless radio stations can be gone through here. These 4 arrows is back button and this OK button. Go through the digital part of the gauge cluster, so we can use the left and right arrows to go through the sub menus, the up and down arrows to go through each sub menu while we're in it. So quite a bit you can do here. And then in the settings, if you want to scroll down, you can change your units of measurement for the tire pressure, the temperature, or the mileage there. And then right side of the steering wheel, cruise control, set your speed there, cancel, voice recognition. This pulls up your Bluetooth. And then push button start. Finally, here's the key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Nissan Sentra S out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Sentra here, the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder in here actually feels pretty good. Although in some vehicles it can kind of not be enough, but here again feels pretty good behind the wheel. Gets up to speed nicely without having to strain the engine too much. And relatively quiet once you get it up to speed. I have it in the normal drive mode now. And one thing I did forget to mention is the sport mode. To put that into the sport mode, on the shifter itself, on the front of it facing you, there's a little button that's on the actual shift knob. It has a white line on it, and you can just press that to go from sport to normal. I'm gonna put it in an eco mode for a minute, see how it does. Now with the manual seat, it is kind of hard to get that perfect spot, at least for someone like myself that's as tall as I am, but not impossible. Now I'm trying to give myself a little bit of space to kind of show the wider angle of the vehicle, so I'm just gonna move the seat back just a tad. But for the most part, again, that impressive legroom I had in the back was, that was all due to just how the space is managed here. Now me being 6'3" with longer legs, I actually fit in here pretty well. I do tend to like to lean my legs out because I like to sit closer to the actual steering wheel just for my posture. But if you wanted to, you could still drive it like this. Just kind of easier for me with my my stature to kind of lean my legs out. But as you can see, I mean, there's really nothing to drive in this thing. It kind of gets up, and the revs of the CVT stay pretty steady. It's not like it does a lot of moving around, which I like. But also in this S, to be at the price point, you get quite a bit. I love having the middle part be digital for the gauge cluster. Even though there's not too much going on with this radio, you still get the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto wired. You still get Bluetooth and aux input. And it takes such a small footprint in terms of where the infotainment system is. And that allows for these vents to be as big as they are to kind of get that air flowing. But it's simplistic in nature in terms of just the controls on the steering wheel, the stalks on the sides, the AC controls. And a lot of people in this segment, that's what they want. It's one of the reasons they buy a Sentra, that and the price. But I mean, it's a simple car. There's not really much to talk about here. Again, it's got the 4-cylinder, it's got a CVT. It has a minimal amount of features, but everything that you need. Having the blind spot monitors, having the different drive modes, the cruise control. Just a good commuter car that gets you 30 miles per gallon city, 40 highway. But in terms of just extra stuff, you don't have that in the S trim. You can go up to an SR, get a few more things, even the SV, but this S is about as bare bones as it gets. Now, it's not the most bare bones base model for a vehicle, but for the Sentra it is. I'm gonna try to give myself a little bit of space and give it a pull getting on the interstate here. Here we go. So, I mean, gave a really good pull there. Let's put it back into the eco mode. But I want to give one more thanks to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I think for the money, you can't beat this being under 25 grand. It has so much in this cheaper package in terms of having the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, push button start, a big plus, the different drive modes, but also just having the drivability that it does. It's very easy to drive. You get fantastic fuel economy. And it's very simple. Visibility is pretty good in here because the hood's sloped, relatively big windshield. The back window isn't as big, but you can still see directly out of it. It's not like you're having it slope up or slope down. It's just a smaller opening with this kind of car. But really hard to complain about anything with this because it is so inexpensive. This is what it is. It's a Nissan Sentra. been around for decades, and that's what people buy these cars for. They want something that's inexpensive, they want something that's good on gas, and they want something that's not hard to maneuver, easier to park. Now these tires are just a tad overinflated, and I think that's why I'm getting a little bit of shake here, and there might be some in the tire as well, but pressure is good on all of them. But I think just a really good car to be as inexpensive as it is. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Nissan Sentra in the S trim level.